one of the key tactics in alpha selling, which is reverse engineering your customer's implementation timeline to drive urgency and control in your deals. So two things that we need to understand at the beginning of each evaluation process. Number one, do they have a solution in place today that we're going to be replacing, or is this completely a net new purchase? Number two, when is that solution expiring and when is it up for renewal? Based on the things that they tell us and based on any compelling event in the business, we need to start reverse engineering our customer's timeline to make sure that their buying timeline and our implementation timeline are aligned, confirmed, and that the customer is educated and aware of the process. The majority of the time that I'm working with enterprise sellers and what I'm seeing in enterprise salespeople is they're not clearly defining, articulating, and justifying the implementation timeline early on in the sales process. So after we have the demo or once we're in pricing, the customer wants to wait, they have a false sense as if they have time, and it's really making it so a lot of my sellers are losing urgency in their deals. So guys, if you have a customer and let's say they're using a solution and it's going to expire in August and it's currently April and they're evaluating your solution and it takes 3 months to implement your solution, they need to buy by May 1st, May, June, July into August 1st in order to have your project implemented on time. You need to really be using that as a way to drive urgency in your deals, or maybe they're already 2 or 3 weeks behind, right? So really just make sure you understand that, and then make sure you understand the process or be willing to help them with the process of migrating off that system onto your new system and understand what they're going to need to be able to do that. A lot of sellers don't do that. So they need a partner, they need a consultant, do they have a plan or a process in place to do that? And keep in mind, they're probably considering that as a potential cost associated with their project. Furthermore, if you know that they already have a solution in place, at least you're replacing a portion of existing spend and not going all in for net new spend. If it's a completely net new project, we really need to take a step back and make sure before we start going into implementation timelines, we understand who the executive evaluator is and who the executive buyer is. Remember guys, now in 2026, even though they're a C-level or a VP, they might be the executive evaluator, meaning they're the ones that are evaluating your tool, making the executive decision on if the company is going to make you vendor of choice, but it still might go to a CEO, somebody on the board, or a CFO to sign off on the deal. So really make sure we know the executive evaluator, we know the executive buyer, and oftentimes more and more they're two separate people when they used to be one. Anyways guys, those are two of the key things that I teach in the alpha selling method. It's gotten amazing results for me in my career. I've become the #1 AE at Salesforce. Workday closed a $13.75 million net new enterprise deal after the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. And I have clients now that I'm working with that have closed deals for $2.6 million, $5.5 million, $1.7 million, all verified with video testimonials using the alpha selling method. So anyways, if you want to absolutely crush it, if you want to increase your income, if you want to learn the most powerful method on the market today for crushing it in software sales, please don't hesitate to reach out or be on the lookout for the book Alpha Selling, which drops in Q2. Anyways, guys, hope that helps.